we'll start with general goals and expectations for the spring beach season.
Yeah, I think the main goal for us is we've been at a stagnant fifth place for the past 2 years at the national championship, and we really want to break that. So fourth place and above, we want to have a better record than last year. Okay, so we play better competition. We're playing more D1s this year, more D2s this year, and less of the D3s. We go through our season. So, yeah, that's our main goal.
You kind of touched on the schedule a little bit. You play a lot of teams multiple times kind of in the area that are, tough competition. How excited are you to play those kinds of teams, and how do you think that's going to, help the program, build and continue to hit those goals you talked about?
Yeah, so I think one match that we always look forward to is Stevenson. They're not quite as close as the other two with Salem and SVU, but they have been our local team previously, even though they're about 4.5 hours away. So Stevenson has kind of become our rival in a lot of ways. We played them, I think, 4 times this season. And so that is going to be one of our focus games every time we play them throughout our season.
What challenges do you anticipate to face this year, and what's your plan facing them?
Yeah, so I mean, recently weather. We are a northern beach volleyball team, so cold temperatures and snow are going to affect us big time. I think another big one, obviously, I created a difficult schedule on purpose. So like I said, we're playing D1s this year, playing pretty high-level teams on purpose to prepare for nationals. And so that's a challenge. It's a good challenge to have, and hopefully it'll help us reach our goal. That's the end result there.
Kind of, what would you say are some of the strengths of this year's team, and how excited are you kind of to see them build on those strengths?
Yeah, so this is the first year. So I've been with the team for 2 years now. This is my second year. This is our first year having a core group of upperclassmen. They've kind of been thrown into the ringer and had to figure it out as they went. Junior year, we should be able to excel at this point. And so I think that's what I'm most excited about is watching them reach that new level that they haven't quite seen yet, I should say.
With one season under your belt, how does your approach to this year, or if or how, does it change coming into this season?
Yeah. Last year, as a volunteer assistant, my role was more limited. So this year going into the season, I have a lot more control as to how we go into these practices and how we excel in the practice in order to excel in the game. And so, I've been kind of throwing in my own drills and running off of Thomas a little bit to make things happen. Yeah.
Kind of just talked about drills. Thomas, what are kind of some of the things you guys are focusing on in drills that you want to improve upon?
Yeah, our high focus right now is a lot of ball control. I work with indoor too, so not having as many people in the court, it's very important to be able to put the ball exactly where you want just to help your teammate and your partner and make that ball better, right? Setting also tends to be a priority. Again, you just got to be able to make that ball better for the next person to swing and take a hack at it.
Thomas, with your first year with the program, what are you most excited about for this beach season?
I'm really excited to watch the girls and see what everyone's made of and take the opportunity to help them grow in the game and maybe find a perspective that they haven't quite looked at yet.
Kind of talked about having some upperclassmen on the team this year. How do you kind of view those leaders, taking a leadership role now? And how excited are you to have some upperclassmen now?
Yeah, like I said, I've been with them for this is my second year going into it. First year, I know they invited me in, and they've done the same for freshmen and the sophomores last year. And so it's been honestly really easy for them to step into that role because of how inviting they have been to their teammates and pushing them to be better. And honestly, it's just made a better team. Yeah.
How would you describe the culture of this program off the field and the identity of this year's roster on the field?
One more time.
How would you describe the culture of this program off the field and the identity of this year's roster on the field?
Yeah. So I mean, they're a hardworking team. I'll start with practice. I mean, they give me 100% every practice. I know a lot of times they don't feel like it. You know, with school, it'll weigh you down. With daily life, it's going to weigh you down. They give me 100% all the time. That's number one. That is something that they created in the identity of this team. And because of what they've done so far, it's gonna carry on, which is wonderful. It makes my job much easier.
Obviously, just by the way you guys are aligned, it gives the impression you're a close-knit team. How would you describe the chemistry of this year's group?
Because this group started 3 years ago, like the entire team was made up 3 years ago, the upperclassmen right now kind of did build the culture, and we had the opportunity to have a one-class team at the beginning of the start. So we've all just kind of gelled from the beginning, and we've had time to find differences and find stuff that brings us close together. And I think that time that we've spent just us has really brought us close together, and it's allowed us to be so open with the new coaches that we've experienced and the new teammates coming in this year. So I think we're super close as a team because of that.
Kind of just talked about being close as a team. Is there any, team activity or maybe like a team dinner or something you guys have done on your own that, really sticks out as a memorable moment from this past year?
You can skip it.
Next. Yeah, I mean, we're just close because of the way we practice.
I was trying to give it to Sid. Me and SJ weren't at team bonding. We went to the lake. Oh wait, you probably were there. That's awesome.
Well, okay, so we went to the lake this past semester, and that was super fun. Thank you so much, Megan, for having us at your house, because it was a blast. She lives on a beautiful lake near Roanoke. It was awesome.
I was just going to say we hang out outside of volleyball.
Okay.
Spend class on Friday, be there.
Guys, obviously a lot of turnover in terms of coaching. What's different this season compared to in years past?
I think this season, Coach Nathan has a different coaching philosophy than we've seen in the past. And so I think in this preseason, kind of learning his viewpoints on different aspects of the game and adapting to that and just adjusting our game so it fits with him better and fits with the new freshmen that have come on the team. And yeah.
With new faces on the team, what has it been like implementing them into the group that you guys have already had established?
I think it's been pretty easy. I think we all just kind of mesh. Everybody is very welcoming. I came in last year as a transfer, and I know I was welcomed with open arms completely. And I just think it's super easy, no matter who really enters.
Shifting gears to, your upcoming season, Coach talked about the tough schedule you guys have coming up. How excited are you to really get started with the year, and how excited are you for those tough matches?
I think we're really excited. We're really looking forward to being pushed and reaching our full potential and the strength that Coach Nathan thinks we can really reach to, and especially with that big D1 weekend where we face 4 or 5 different D1s. We're just really looking forward to see what we can do.
With a significantly tougher strength of schedule this season, has that changed either your mental approach to the year or your preparation process?
I don't think it has. I think this team has been through so much where they've had to adjust and things have been thrown at us so much because this is a new team that we've had to adapt in a lot of situations. I think who we play isn't the case for any of us because, as Nathan said previously, we do all really give our 100% no matter what. We will expect tougher competition, but I think that really ignites a fire under all of us. I think it'll really just push us harder to play.
Coach talked about being fifth at nationals last year. What are some goals as a team that you guys have to get past that fifth overall point?
I think keeping the structure that we've been given recently is definitely going to help us push past that, and also just remaining competitive against each other in practices and gameplay when we play different teams and such. And I definitely think the busier our schedule is and the harder our schedule is this year, it'll definitely help us get to that point.
Also, when it comes to nationals and every game we play, it is a lot more difficult because we are in pairs. So one thing we're pushing as philosophy this year is energy-giving behavior, EGB, as we like to call it. And I really do think that's important because we're not always going to be together on and off the court. It's about how are you uplifting your teammates when you see them playing, when you see them not playing. I think that'll really help us at nationals as well.
What are you all most excited for this season?
I'm just excited for another season. Junior year, as was said earlier, we're now upperclassmen. We've done this two years previously, and so kind of feeling more comfortable going into the season. I also think playing the high-level competition is super exciting, getting to see what we can do, and just hoping for the best this year.
Are there any lessons, either individually or as a group, that you kind of learned from last year that you want to take into this year?
I think from last year, we let a lot of stress build up, like with things in volleyball, out of volleyball, etc. And Coach Nathan has really stressed that we need to find more important things than volleyball. So while we're all very passionate and giving 100% all the time, we still need to focus on other important things in our life so that we can just stay balanced all around.
With a really packed and difficult schedule this year, how do you stay focused and maintain motivation?
I think being such a tight-knit team really helps with that. We all have each other's back. We all care for each other. So just watching out for each other if we see someone having a harder day, going and being there for them. And so that really helps with the stress and just knowing that you have a whole team behind you to help you out.